Today we're going to talk about patterns, so your 2026 feels a lot different than your 2025. Forgiveness is only needed when you still believe you're the victim of that. When you are really ready to take your power back, you're not a victim anymore. So there's no one to forgive. To ramp things up for 2026, and you want to shift some things around because everything didn't exactly pan out the way you foresaw it for 2025, then it's time to recognize patterns. It's time to recognize patterns, your identity, before we go forward. All right, so this is the last day of 2025, and it's the perfect time to do so. Patterns, identities, habits, that's what we need to take a look at today before 2026. Hello, I see you all. Let's see. So if you could name 2026 a word, what was it? I remember one of my years were named abundance. Another one was named authenticity. Another year it was named health and wealth. So what's the title for this year for you, for 2026? What is your title for your 2026? Let's start there. Let's start on a positive note before we get into the workshop, because we're going to do a little workshopping today. Pull out your notes or your journals. You can pull out the notes on your phone or the journal or a journal book. It's always better to actually write on paper. The title for your year is abundance. Very good. Year of intention. Now I want to talk about patterns. I want you to dig deep, pull out your journals and your notes, and reflect on this past year. And what I want you to focus on are the things that you didn't like to happen. The things that happened in your world that you didn't like. You didn't appreciate it. You wish it didn't happen. Those things. I want you to focus on negative. No, I tell you all to focus on the positive, right? But in order to shift in that positive mindset, it doesn't matter how many affirmations you say, how much positive music you play, how much you breathe in and you hug trees. If you don't take care of the underlying issues preventing you from maintaining that balance at all times, then it's a waste of time. Now, I want you to think about the things that happened that you didn't like that happened this year. Even if it's a repeat, even if it's something that has been repeating itself from the year before, I want you to think about that, because now in this session is the time that we're going to tackle it. You've been hiding from it, avoiding it, scrolling it away, smoking it away, shopping it away, traveling it away, healing it away, and yet it still is here. So in this session, I want to help you to push through and move through that space so you can finally get to the other side. Because yes, the grass, thank you for the badge, Paris. Grass is always greener wherever you're standing. But if you have pesticides, the pesticides are those challenges and those issues that you can't seem to push through. Those are the pesticides. If you got pesticides around you, the grass is going to turn yellow. All right? Think of the pesticides as your past traumas. The pesticides are not your ex. Okay? Pesticides is your mama, your daddy, your grandma, that type of stuff. Those are the pesticides. So yes, the grass is greener wherever you stand. It is. I promise you are the light. But you got to get out of your way. All right? Listen, 2025 was about to be the best year you ever had. 2024 was about to be the most phenomenal, epic year you ever had. 2023, what? This is my year. Remember that, right? Every year you were telling yourself, this is my year. This is about to be my most epic year. This is about to be the best year of my life. Remember every year telling yourself these positive affirmations, but for some reason it didn't quite make it. And the only reason it didn't quite make it is not because it couldn't have been your best year. It's not because of that. It's because you got to deal with it. You know what it is. I can't tell you what it is. Only you know what it is. But you got to deal with it. If you really are committed to having the best year of your life, you can. I promise you. One of the best years of my life was 2020. Yeah. The panty hit. It was one of the best years of my life. Everything was running smoothly, right? That's when I went from the 500K annually to the 1 million, my first million, was because preparation met opportunity. So are you prepared for your blessings? That's my question. Are you prepared for your blessings? 2026 can be the best year of your life, but are you prepared for the opportunities of best? Are you prepared for it? Because I'm gonna tell you one good thing that'll sabotage the hell out of your entire year. Depression, being stressed about money, being in a toxic relationship, entertaining people who drain you, holding on to old friends, lovers, family members who don't exalt you. Those can complete bad habits, eating habits all the time, spending all your money all the time, drinking all the time. All of these can sabotage the heck out of your phenomenal year that you wanted for yourself. So it's really not about those bad connections with people or your bad habits or bad spending habits or your bad eating habits. It's not about that. It's about why you're doing it. Why do you do that? Why do you entertain people who don't value you? Why are you such a such an invaluable being? Why would you entertain someone who doesn't value you? And you know, because the way they treat you, you know, they talk to you that way. They wouldn't disregard you. They wouldn't ignore you. They would not invite you out like they did the other people. They would not do sweet gestures for you. It wouldn't be a bother when you needed help. They would support you and your endeavors or your new business you're trying to start. They'd support you. Welcome, welcome, guys. So why are you entertaining people, things that don't exalt you? And that's the only way you're gonna have a better 2026. It's the only way. If you target the underlying problem causing you to have these bad habits, to hold on to these toxic relationships, whether it's a friendship or a family member, to be in spaces you don't enjoy, whether it's a job, it comes down to self-worth and how you value yourself. And if you do things that proves to yourself, by you, that you don't value you, like what are some things you do that proves to you you don't value yourself? Eating horribly, not staying committed to the promises you make with yourself, subjecting to relationships or people who mistreat you. Stay in environments, hostile environments or environments that doesn't feel good to you, whether it's a job or even a hotel. Because like I said, the other day when I went to Art Basel with my daughters and the first hotel we went to was dusty. Had we stayed in that hotel, subjecting ourselves to that dusty experience, that brings your vibration down. What happens when you bring your vibration down? Just from an environmental situation. Then you start attracting low vibrational experiences. It's not as simple as, oh, we'll just sleep here and, you know, our way throughout the day. No, you're taking that energy of, oh, I just slept in this low, dusty hotel room, right? You take a shower, you still think about it. You don't feel as worthy as waking up in a place where you're like, oh, this feels good. All right, let's get dressed. Let's put on our perfume. Let's do our hair. Y'all ready? Let's go. You know, different vibe. So when you subject yourself to these experiences, it lowers your vibration. And what it does is subtly sabotage the good things that come your way because you're unprepared for it. Your vibes are low. You're unprepared. Your vibes are low because you subjected yourself to a low vibe experience in an environment, a person, or food. You can subject yourself to a low vibe experience from what you ate. You know what that feels like, the itis. When you eat a bunch of food and now you feel sluggish, as opposed to eating food and you feel lively. Today I ate a huge acai bowl. I made it myself. I couldn't believe how much I ate. But with as much as I eat, and I don't eat a lot, right? But I ate a lot of that because it was light. As much as I ate, and it was a heart-shaped bowl, and the bowl is about this big. That's pretty big, okay? I'll put it in my stories. But I didn't feel stuffed. I felt fine after eating it. The granola had a bunch of nuts in it, you know, acai blend, and then you had the fruits. I had blueberries, strawberries, and bananas, all organic. This is an important note because I'm not ingesting more toxins with the pesticides, right? So now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling ready to serve you. Yes, you on Instagram and TikTok, I'm ready to serve you now. because I just filled myself up with a bunch of life. So you can subject yourself to low vibe experiences from what you eat, from the environment, from the interactions you have. There's so many different ways, but you have to protect yourself. And someone said they were naming the theme of their year boundaries. Oh, I love that. We all can use a little bit more boundaries. Let me tell you what boundaries do. Boundary shows to you, it proves to you, and it proves to other people that you don't play about you. That's what boundaries do. You don't have to say a word. All you have to do is remove yourself. A video going around with Money Long talking about how J. Cole came into the studio. I guess they were going to collaborate. And then she was talking about other people with somebody else, you know, gossiping or whatever the case was. And he just quietly left and didn't return. That is boundaries, okay? He's not willing to subject himself to this low vibe experience. This is not what I'm about. And I'm not going to try to change you. I'm not going to tell you to change the topic. I'm not going to try to control you. And that's people try to do. Many a times people try to control the other person, when really you should be focusing on yourself. How can you control you? Don't worry about somebody else, making them better or helping them to see the light. No, always shine by example. And let me tell you, as quiet as he walked out, here she is on the internet with millions of people seeing this because she learned her lesson. She learned a lesson when she saw that man walk out as she was popping crap about whoever with her friends. And he said, that is not my energy. I have no parts in this. Boundaries. Boundaries shows how you don't play about you and you don't allow others to play about you too. So in what way do you need some more boundaries? What way? We all can use some boundaries. Boundaries is discipline. Boundaries is self-respect. Boundaries is self-love, self-worth. In what way can you use some more boundaries? That's my question to you. So I asked you earlier, how can you recognize a pattern? I had an ongoing pattern. It was with an ex. And he was the pattern. It was just him that I would allow him to weave in and out of my life. He was the reoccurring pattern, even if it wasn't happening daily. It may have happened 1 year and then we skip a year and I see him another year, right? But he was still a pattern, even in the span of years. And I was thinking about that today, and I was getting pissed off with myself that I allowed somebody like that to be in my life for so long. You know, it was a pattern that I finally broke. So what patterns do you need to break? And it's not the person in particular, right? And it's not the habit in particular. It's what is the underlying reason, thing, causing you to give energy to that habit, that person, the relationship, that pattern. That's the real question. And only then, until you target that, only then can you break the pattern. Only then, I'm telling you, because of why you are constantly doing this thing or repeating this behavior, giving energy to this habit, person, only then will you break it. And only then will your 2026 look differently. So if you really want your 2026 to look differently, it's time to identify the patterns and the identity tied to that pattern. So what is the identity tied to that pattern? What about trying to lose weight with the bad eating habits? That is a self-worth issue and a lack of education issue when it comes to bad eating habits. Two things. What's causing you to want to always eat and self-soothe, right? We talked about avoidance last week. What's causing you to want to eat and avoid the issue by eating? That's one. Two, what do you not know about foods that's causing you to want to participate in it in that way? Because when you learn what these foods are, what they're made of, how they're produced, what it does internally to your body, and that goes for the positive, the beneficial aspects of foods, and the disadvantages parts, right? Just knowing about foods itself, what foods benefit you with what foods don't. So it's about knowledge and it's about self-worth when it comes to eating. You not know about foods that's causing you to want to be eating that type of food all the time, that's giving you those bad reactions or weight gains or skin condition, and what happened in life that caused you to seek solace in food. More times than not, it's tied to self-worth and definitely a lack of knowledge when it comes to food. When I began educating myself about food, I got turned off by most of the foods I was eating at the time. I was a teenager at the time too. I was on a journey of trying not to be depressed all the time. That's the journey I was on. I was tired of being depressed. I was a depressed teen, okay? So I started to, I guess you would say, a soul search. I was going through a soul searching period. And that's when I started to do a lot of research and explore different eating styles. And that's when I became vegan. And the way I ate at the time as a vegan, it rose my vibrations naturally because you're eating lighter foods as a vegan, right? Any vegetable is always going to be lighter. Any vegetable in the world is always going to be lighter than meat. Eating lighter foods, I started to feel lighter. I was able to, I guess, receive more uploads and downloads spiritually, and that helped as well. So I started going through a spiritual experience naturally. I didn't know that would happen, but those were the turns of events that happened for me. I didn't do it to go through that sort of a transformation. I was just doing it because, you know, kind of following the steps I was taking in order to just get from being depressed as a teen. So the more I read, the more I would apply things. I would read things and, okay, so meat is not good for me. Okay, let me cut beef out. Okay, pork is horrible for me. Let me cut pork out. Okay, I'm just cut off all meats. Okay, it's not for me for these reasons. All right, let me cut all of that out. So the more information I ingest and the more I applied. So the problem many of times is people would get the information and they do nothing with it. But me, I was applying, I was implementing, right? So as I implemented more information, like about diet, about self-worth, and myself as a Black woman, because I was also researching a lot of Black consciousness books, right? And that helped to empower me. Not only knowing how to eat and take care of myself, but who am I as a Black woman, teenager at the time? Who am I? Oh, okay, this is where I come from. Okay, this my ancestors went through. Okay, so they were always slaves. They were pharaohs and kings and queens as well. All of that information helped me. And it may not have been directly tied to my lineage, but knowing that information helped me. So knowledge, reading books, Jewel Pukra, who else? Farrakhan, Malidoma Patrice Somé. These were the books I was reading. Lila Africa, Dr. Lila Africa. That was African Holistic Health. What other books did I have? Metu Neter. That was more so for like spiritual enlightenment. These were books I was reading at the time, and it helped me tremendously to awaken. Someone here said that their year is going to be called the Great Awakening. That's part of what helped me to awaken. Reading self-help, African-centered books. It was self-empowering. It increased my self-worth, my identity, the Black woman. Yeah, those books helped me in that way. And I also got into the dietary benefits of changing my diet and eating differently for my body as a Black person as well, right? Dr. Lila Africa talks about that. The shape of your face, your body, as an African being, and how certain foods affect you and benefit you. Part of being obese or overweight is self-worth and lack of knowledge when it comes to knowing what foods do to you, for you, what foods are for you and what foods are against you. Right? So targeting who hurt and what hurt you, causing you to use food as an escape to further support your avoidance. I would start there. And once you target that, you're going to be a different person. Once you target that, you're going to change your life completely. You're going to look differently. You're going to feel differently. You're going to set more boundaries for yourself. People aren't going to like you anymore. You don't want to hear that, right? Yeah, people aren't going to like you anymore because now you're setting boundaries that shows that you are willing to put yourself first as opposed to them. Let me tell you something about people. Everyone is out for self. Nothing's wrong with that. But always know, everyone is always out for self. And like I said, it's okay, because the first law is what? Self-preservation. But no man is an island. We are living in an interdependent world. So while you do have to put yourself first, know that you're taking up space with other people. So don't be self-centered. It's all right to be focused on yourself, but don't be self-centered. Know that you exist amongst other beings, right? So in knowing that people are always going to put themselves first, some people might get upset once you start setting those boundaries. Once you start showing that you are willing to put you first and not them, and they're so used to taking advantage of you and taking your kindness for weakness, at times kindness is weakness, because you think, oh, I'm such a nice person, they should treat me better. No, you wouldn't be begging for somebody to treat you better if you had better self-worth and better boundaries. Being nice and kind just because you think it's going to get you further is going to get you nowhere. Now, if you're doing it genuinely because you love yourself and you have it to give because you're giving from a full cup, that's different. But if you're being nice and kind because you think it's going to get you further in relation to other people, it'll get you further in a hole, further under the mat, because you will get taken advantage of. So no more Mrs. Nice Girl, no more Mrs. Extra Kind Girl. It gets you nowhere. Haven't you learned that yet? You have to be okay with people not liking you. Who are they? 7.8 billion people in this world. You care about a small pocket of people not liking you? You really have to get okay with that. You'll find your tribe of people who appreciate you for who you are, but you cannot be afraid of people not liking you. Start wanting to show up authentically. Who are you really? And when you ask yourself that, don't ask, would people like me if I am who I am really? Don't ask that part. I just want to know, who are you really? Who would you really be if you didn't care about what other people thought? I'm probably in an odd position because I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? God is my friend. You know, I have good friends here and there, but I don't really have this like that anymore, right? I used to have earlier this year, and I had that 2 years ago as well with a different person, and you know, but I'm good on that. I've gotten to the point where I'm not upset about it. I just know that people grow. I now have the grace to know that people grow, and it's okay, that you have to be okay with being with yourself. You have to become so interesting for yourself. Like, I don't mind time with myself. But also, let me not discount the fact that I do have 3 cats, a mama cat with 2 daughters. I have a dog, Milo. I got 3 daughters. You have to get okay with people not liking you. You care about people liking you? Yeah, you want people to like you, right? Everybody wants to be able to connect. But you also have to be okay with people not liking you. Not intentionally, but just them not liking you for their own personal things. It has nothing to do with you if somebody doesn't like you because of your belief systems or your boundaries. It has nothing to do with you. That's for them to work out. It's for them to deal with. But you have to be okay with people not liking you, especially if they're used to taking advantage of you and you were a yes woman at once. And finally, you found your no finally. People don't like it when you find your no. They don't like that. So you have to become okay with people not liking you. It takes courage for you to come to that place where you're like, you know what? It's okay if they don't like me. I like me. God likes me. You have to get to that place of peace, self-assurance, so much confidence in yourself, knowing how much you like yourself. When you get to that place, you become unstoppable. And as I was saying, I've had close friends throughout my entire life, but I've come to the point where I'm disrespect, I'm not taking it. Being taken for granted or treating unfairly, I'm not sticking around for that. I don't care how close we are. I'm not sticking around for it. Does that mean that I cut you off? No, it doesn't necessarily mean I cut you off. It's a case-by-case situation, right? But does it mean that I give you distance? Heck yes, distance is my friend. But a good cutoff is always sweet. I'm the block queen. That's what I'm known for. but it's also not a part of my identity that I try to uphold. I don't want to be the black queen, but I am the boundary queen. When you love yourself, you become the boundary queen for yourself. Cutoff game got strong in 2025. Very good. Listen, until you show these people that you come first in your world, they will take you for granted. They will take advantage of you. They will stomp all over you for their own gain. Because like I said, everyone is out for self, all right? We're all out for self. But it is how you're out for self in alignment with how I'm out for self, right? So I can be on a path of, let's say, I'm on a health journey. I cut some sugar out of my diet right now. I'm drinking water. And then somebody else who's out for self, they're on a water fast and they just cut meat out of their diet. And somehow we just aligned. We're both out for self-improvement, but we just aligned. Everybody's out for self. But are you in alignment with how I'm out for self? The way I'm out for self is self-improvement, exercising, self-love, listening to good music, having good vibes, looking good, smelling good, serving women, uplifting women globally, helping women to make better choices about their bodies and in relation to wealth. That's how I'm out for self. That's my objective. So when I align with other people who are out for self in that way, that's how we come together. It's okay to be self-focused. It's all right. But there is a difference, right? There are different selfishes. There's a selfish where you're focused on yourself, you're learning how to put yourself first. And then there's a selfish that is completely in disregard of others. That's different. There's always a polarity to everything. Two coins to something. Don't be the type that completely disregards other people, but be the type that focuses on you and puts you first. So these dietary issues where you overeat and you're obese or you're overweight and you just can't seem to get it together, it has nothing to do with the food itself. And it has nothing really to do with your lack of discipline. It just has to do with who hurt your feelings, who made you feel like you needed to start soothing, escaping, and avoiding through food. That's what it's about. And then it's also about lack of knowledge when it comes to what you're putting in your body. You just can't seem to get it together. You've been saying, oh, I'm going to commit to the gym, but you have yet to do it. You said that for your New Year resolution for 2025, 2024, 2023, and you still have yet to commit. Why is that? Is it because you just don't love yourself like that? Is it because you're lazy? What is it? You're just not motivated? It's deeper than that. Those are easy explanations. The real explanation, some self-worth issue. Something that knocked you down, broke you down. But you don't even realize it's affecting you to this day. So if you don't want to sabotage your 2026, deal with the real issue. Being the villain can be peaceful. Who are you the villain for? You're only the villain because you've become the victor of yourself, right? So now you're only the villain because the people who you used to save by serving them and helping them and showing up for them all the time, you're only the villain now because you've now turned that energy to yourself and became your own victor. That's the difference. So is that the pathway of forgiveness for the people who hurt you to lose the weight? It's not about them. Let's start there. For your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your grandparent who hurt you, just know that it's not about them. Try to find closure in the people who hurt us. And as I always say, you cannot heal where you were hurt. Let me give you an example. It's about reframing. When I was having this conversation with myself, actually it was earlier this morning, about my ex, he popped up somehow. Something maybe may have reminded me of him. And I was like, I cannot believe he, pay attention. I cannot believe he was in my life, dude, right? Pay attention to what I'm saying. I cannot believe he. Let's start there. It's not I cannot believe he. Turn that he, where you're blaming the person, back to you. So now I had to start reframing. I had to catch myself. You say, snap and say, that's not my reality. So I said, that's not my reality. He didn't do anything. I can't believe he. It's not about him. So I turned it around, I reframed it, and I said, I can't believe I allowed him to be in my life for this amount of time doing that mess. That's how you take your power back. My mother, she was so abusive to me. It's not about your mother. But I also want to tell you all before we get off that my RICHTUAL, because I own a feminine care company. This is the company that I made my first million with and my second and so on and so forth. It's on TikTok as well. And these are no longer $40. They're $22 now. Yes, guys, it is now $22, not $40. All right. I wanted to announce that to you all. I was like, I cannot believe he did. And I had to catch myself because it's not about him. Anybody who tried to victimize you, right? It's not about that person. They tried. It's about how you are viewing them. So in my conversation with myself, I realized how my view of him was he was the villain and I was the victim. But when you're ready to take your power back, you're no longer the victim, you're the victor. And the way you become the victor of your story is if you change the names around, right? So right away I said, and he didn't do anything. Actually, I'm no victim of him. I allowed him to be in my space for that amount of time. And thank God I've awakened to the point where I was able to realize how he no longer needs to take up any more space or time in my life. So changing the focus around from the person who tried and attempted to victimize you and making the focus about yourself is where you'll gain your power back. And yeah, you can forgive. You know, forgiveness really is only needed if you really are still giving power to that person. Forgiveness is only needed when you still believe you're the victim of them. When you are really ready to take your power back, you're not a victim anymore. So there's no one to forgive because you realize that your spirit needed that experience for some reason. Your mind needed that experience for some reason. You needed to go through that no matter how hard it was to get to the other side of your destiny. This is about your life and your path, your purpose. You needed these experiences. You're here from TikTok. Hey, Kia. You needed these experiences. There's no need to forgive anyone. You don't need to forgive anyone anymore. Why are you forgiving them if you are not their victim? I don't need to forgive my molester. For what? I'm not his victim. I don't need to forgive my father. For what? I am not his victim. I'm no one's victim. So there is no need to forgive anyone. You need to do forgiveness work and letting go work. Once you realize you were the main character of your life in the first place, not them. The only time you need to forgive them is when you have them as the main character, the focus. They're the villain. They're the antagonist. They're one of the main characters. Once you remove that title from them, they're no longer character in your book. You become the main character and the only character. And get this, you become the protagonist and the antagonist of your own life when you really claim your power back. Yes, you become your own victim and your own victor. That's another level though, when you're really ready to take your power back. When I was telling you about that conversation I was having with myself earlier, where I said, oh, I can't believe he did this to me. In my head, I'm talking. I can't believe he, and I had to catch myself. That was me being my own antagonist. That was me victimizing myself. That's what happens when you claim your power. I had to catch myself and see how I was victimizing myself in that moment. Woe is me. He did these things to me. Oh my gosh. No. I, powerful woman with free reign, allowed this sort of a person into my life to play this role. I allowed it. I am no one's victim. And there's no need for me to forgive anybody because I'm no one's victim. What letting go? There's no need to do releasing work and letting go. There's no need to do forgiveness work because you're no one's victim. Only time you need to do that is when you're a victim. But when you're a powerful being and you realize that everything that happened to you happened for you, then you know you're the protagonist and antagonist of your life all along. We give away too much power. Thank you, Kia. Exactly. Ooh, you are preaching today. Stephanie, move out the way and reveal yourself to you. Whoo, come on. Exactly. I'm going through this exact same thing. It is my fault for allowing this frequency discrepancy. Exactly. And you know what? Bringing yourself down and saying it's my fault, right? Let's reframe even that. Yes, you are the antagonist and the protagonist of your life, but let's not say it's your fault. Let's say it was your poor decision at the time. You made a bad choice. You made a bad decision. You not say it's my fault. That seems like you're victimizing yourself as well, right? So let's say I made a poor choice. I made a bad decision. I learned. And boy, did I learn. Year. Damn. Was it last year? Oh my God, it was up to last year. That same ex called me on my birthday. And my current man was there at the party while my ex was texting me. And I leaned over to the girlfriend who actually called me, got shut down. She's the one who leaned over to me, and I was like, look at who's texting me, da da da. She was like, why don't you just block him? And do you know, at the time, I thought to myself, such a simple question and such an easy thing, but why the hell didn't I have him blocked by then? What was I holding on to? See, I was holding on to a part of my identity, because it's not about him. I was holding on to a part of my identity I found comfort in. And we talked about this in maybe 2 sessions previously, where just because something feels comfortable doesn't mean that it's good for you. It could be, as I said then, your brain or your body protecting you just because it doesn't feel good. Or it can be your brain and your body protecting you from it with some comfort because it does feel good, right? And just because it feels good doesn't mean that it's good for you. Or just because it feels familiar doesn't mean it's good for you. So I wasn't ready to let go of that part of my identity that was so familiar to me. This was years of us going back and forth, years, right? Like a good 9 years, 8 years. So I wasn't ready to release that part of my identity. It had nothing to do with him. So when she asked me that simple question, girl, why didn't you just block him? I sat down there. I sat there right there. And I kind of felt silly because I thought to myself, shoot, why haven't I? I was really having a crisis in that moment. Darn, shoot, something as easy as like, I had to go through so many transitions in my head of why I was still holding. I'm here at the party with this man who's clearly showing me that he is stepping up and showing me all the great things that I need and I appreciate. I don't need anything in a man, but that I appreciate in a man, right? But yet you're still looking at a text from somebody who is a loser. Okay, you are. You say you're a goddess and you believe in self-love and self-worth, but you're here still accepting text messages from this person. Okay, you empower women and you tell them to, for themselves and set good boundaries and but yet you're still answering a text from this person. You're still allowing them to have access to your phone. I went through a lot in that one moment. I had to ask myself all those questions. Like, mine was going 1,000 miles per minute. And I was like, wow, you know what? You're right. I said to my girlfriend, you're right. Why haven't I? Okay? We are what we allow and accept. Exactly. I thought to myself, you're right. And so I blocked him. And the reason why, the thing that triggered me is that he was like, it was my birthday. And this man was talking about, let's go out later. He wasn't offering anything, no gifts, no nothing. Let's go hang out. Right? So that's what he was texting me. Not what's your address, because I just moved here. Let me send you something. I was having a party. Let me send you some food for the party. Something. Type of offering. No offerings. Right? So I showed it to my girlfriend. She was like, girl, why you didn't block him? And at that moment, I had an identity shift, if you will. And I blocked him and never looked back. But it really wasn't about him, because that whole year previous to reaching out or whatever, that whole year I was doing cutoff work with my father, which I told you all about. I was doing cutoff work, right? Letting go of my identity as a daughter to the man I called my father. Now that is the thing that really took me to the next level. That is the thing that really cleared the way. Because again, it's not about the men. It's about the underlying issue. So my underlying issue, as I've already told you all in many videos, was my father. And it wasn't until I did that cutoff work with him that the waves cleared, the ocean parted, okay? The blessings started pouring in because I dealt with it at the root. So what is the root of your bad habit? Your poor identity, low self-worth, these low vibe men, these friends who are fake. What's the underlying issue, right? The poor eating habits, the lack of wanting to get up and do something good for yourself, like exercise. What's the underlying issue? So deal with the underlying issue so you can have the best 2026. Matter of fact, not the best 2026, the best year of your life till the next year. And that's going to be your best year of your life because things are just going to get better and better. So deal with that issue, deal with the underlying issue so you won't sabotage this next year. Any questions before we go into our meditation? So I talk about dealing with the underlying issue. I hope that at least one of you can really be honest with yourself and identify what your underlying issue is. What's your underlying trauma? I really hope at least one of you are on here and we're able to identify that for yourself. Anyone, put it in the comment section. Let's be honest. Let's be transparent. If you're big and you're bold, what exactly is your underlying theme that's preventing you from jumping to the other side? Because if you don't deal with it, sabotage is on its way. No matter how much good happened to you, that sabotage, it'll rain on your party, honey, without a question. I'm waiting. Am I not seeing your spouse? What about your spouse? Don't tell me your spouse is your trauma. Kia, don't tell me your spouse is your trauma, honey. Please don't tell me that, because that's some serious heavy stuff right there. See, if your spouse is in fact your trauma, it just means you attracted your spouse from a trauma bond. That's all. And you're growing. So you're awakening and you now outgrowing the old, shedding the old skin. And he is a product of your old skin. That's how you attracted him, with the old skin. And if he is not evolving and growing at the rate that you're growing, then he has to go as you shed your old skin. If he's also evolving, then you can take him with you. But if he isn't evolving along with you as you grow, then he has to go with the shedded skin, or else he's going to pull you down. Because people become upset with not being able to identify who you're becoming. They get upset with it. If they can't pinpoint who the hell you are now, it makes them feel confused about themselves. It makes them begin to question themselves. And it's almost like, they're like, how dare you give me work? Because in that self-reflection, that's work, right? So they're like, how dare you give me work? I didn't sign up for this. I just want to go about my life and ignore my mess and keep it pushing. So that's why people become upset, because they get uncomfortable. You make them uncomfortable when you change. They start questioning themselves. They like the familiarity of who you were. He's causing trauma right now for me. I am awakening and he's okay. So without me reading this, I already read all of it. Without me reading physically, I already read it. I already said the answer to all of that. So yeah, he is just a part of your old skin. He's who you attracted with your old skin. He ain't fuck Nikki, fuck the new body. Sorry. Yeah, is a part of your old identity. All right, your fave. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, he has to go. If I'm not for people just getting cut off, just like, I'm not for that. Even though I am, you know, humans, they need a little bit more cushion, right? So in giving them a little bit more grace, if he is willing to grow, then he's growing with you, then you all can work it out. But if he's causing you trauma because your growth is making him uncomfortable, your growth is causing him to project on you, him where he is no longer growing, because he's feeling the friction and the lack of alignment. And that lack of alignment is making him feel insecure. He can no longer lean on you for the ways that he's used to leaning on you. So that's causing him to project his anger on you because you're growing. He doesn't like that. Why with love? Exactly. So he can't come with me. He's not growing. He's collapsing, resisting. Thank you. Exactly. So when you begin to grow, it doesn't matter who it was. I remember when I was growing as a teenager at that time, when I was first going through my first awakening, my friends were upset. They were attacking me. My friends, I'm talking about my besties who I was hanging out with every day. They were attacking me. My mom was attacking me. Everybody, they were like about my growth, okay? When you are becoming your new identity, it's going to upset people because your growth is causing them to reflect on themselves in a way that they didn't ask for any self-reflection in this moment. You're the one growing, but your growth is going to cause them to reflect. And what it does is it shows them how they're stagnant, and that upsets them. So what does it do? It causes them to project their anger on you. So you got to protect yourself. And you have to learn in this moment, especially, that it's not personal. He's only angry because he's upset with his stagnant behaviors. He's only angry because he's upset that he's stagnant right now and you're growing. He can't keep up with it. So it's making him uncomfortable, all right? It's not personal. But if he was growing with you, he wouldn't be upset because you would be in alignment. Alignment is what causes harmony. But resistance, as you noted earlier, resistance is what causes friction. Ooh. That's what causes friction and conflict, chaos. So your new self is outgrowing you, your old self, okay? It's not about him. You're not outgrowing him, all right? You're outgrowing the old you. Remember, it's never about them. I don't care who they are. It's never about them. It's always about you. I don't care if it was your mother, your father, your sister, your brother who gave you trauma or victimized you. It's never about them. It's always about you. So you are not outgrowing them or him. You're outgrowing your old skin, your old identity. Who is he tied to? Your old identity. And that's why there's conflict. So, as I was saying, one thing you have to learn: when they get upset and they start projecting and spitting venom towards you, don't take it personal. They're just having an inner tantrum because they're not ready to grow. And it has nothing to do with you. They have traumas that they have yet to deal with. And your growth is showing them the traumas they're trying to avoid. And that's making them upset. So don't take it personal. Say, that's not my reality. Whatever they say to you, that's not my reality. Actually, I'm amazing, I'm blessed, I'm at peace with myself. Don't take it personal. It's not yours. Their issue is not yours. That's for them to deal with. Sorry, it's my other, oh, hold on. Light shining, okay. Issues is not for you to deal with. He had a tantrum yesterday and you stayed neutral. When you stay neutral, you're not giving fuel to the fire, and that's brilliant. You remain proactive and not reactionary. So you breathe through it. You say, that's not my reality. I'm amazing. I'm at peace. You keep breathing through it. You get into your body. You stay present with you, and it has nothing to do with you. Now, at this point, you just have to out your exit plan. So anyway, ladies, get into our libation, our stretch, and our meditation, and then we're done. All right. So this is to our 2026. I want you to envision your 2026 because your reality starts in your mind, what you envision for yourself. Okay. Where reality begins. That's why visualization meditations are so important. Your reality begins in your mind. All right. I want you to project a positive, peaceful, evolving, becoming, full of good surprises 2026 for yourself. Grandiose, big things going on for you. More life, more health, more wealth for your 2026. All right. So I have my agua. Oh, it looks so pretty. Look at that. I have my water. And you can respond by saying yes, Yao, Amen, Amla, Hallelujah, Ashe, Facts, Water, whatever you choose, as long as you are here to raise your vibrations. So we're so grateful, so thankful, so blessed to have woken up to this last day of 2025 on this calendar. This is mid-year for somebody else, right? So we're so grateful to be alive, to be woke, to feel blessed, to know that we can change anything that no longer serves us, to know that all the doors are already open. We just have to see them. We have to lift the veil of traumas and past issues so we can walk through them, because they are open, honey. Ashe. And we're so grateful and thankful to know that we're divinely guided, we're divinely protected, and no weapons ever formed against us exist. Okay? It just doesn't exist, because life is good, all right? We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're sound, we're at peace. Ashe, we're blessed. Give thanks and praises. So we give thanks and praises for the divine ancestors, Abusuns and Tarus, Orishas, spirit guides, angels, all of the positive energy surrounding us. Call out the name of any ancestor in your bloodline that may have passed away. Anyone. Can be a grandmother, a grandfather, a parent, even a child, who knows, uncle and aunt. Call them out if you want to acknowledge them. Ashe. So we give thanks for, I'm going to call out mine. Ashe. Give thanks. Ashe to all the ancestors known and unknown, spoken and unspoken. Ashe. My kitty cat. All right, so taking a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, rolling your shoulders back. Exhale, rolling your shoulders forward. Inhale, rolling your shoulders back. And exhale, looking to your left. Inhale, extra spinal twist. Inhale, exhale, looking to your right, and extra spinal twist. Inhale, forward. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, exhale, forward. Shake left, shake right, shake left, shake right. Inhale, rolling left to right. Come on, do this stretch with me, guys. It really helps. Again, inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rolling back down. Rolling right to left. Again, very good. Inhale, rolling your shoulders back. Getting into your goddess posture. Ashe to Albertha, Thomas, Vita, David. Ashe. Closing your eyes. Inhale, taking a deep breath in. And releasing. Exhale. Inhale, taking in all the goodness that happened to you this year. And triple folding it, double folding it, 10xing it, 100 folding it for your next year. Ashe. Exhale. Inhale. Taking all the lessons you learned. You're not so good feeling things, the lessons, the enlightenment, the awakenings that happened for you. Taking a deep breath in. Now those, the jewels, those are golden, because the growth you're about to experience from that, doors that are about to open from those not so good feeling experiences. And exhale. Very good. Inhale. Now I want you to envision yourself at peace. You're sitting at peace. You're sitting at the ocean, you're sitting in a park, you're sitting on a mountain, you're at peace. Your mind is not racing because everything is working out for you. It's not racing. Your mind isn't thinking about a darn thing. You're just present in that moment. You're just taking in the view, listening to the birds, listening to the ocean, connecting with nature. You're present because you don't have a care in the world. Everything is taken care of. Your bills are on auto pay. You and your family are healthy. You are no longer entertaining people, places, things, habits that drain you. You have set strong boundaries because you don't play about yourself anymore. Inhale. This is what love feels like. You are in love with yourself all over again. And this love feels different because now you feel like, wow, was I even loving myself before? Because now this feels like love. This feels like true love. And inhale, exhale. And we don't need to let go of or forgive or anything, anyone or anything, because the bad things that happened to us, for us, we needed it. It made us stronger, better, wiser, richer, prettier. Inhale, okay? It happened for us because it's your world. They were in your world. So it happened from a decision you made. Whether it was a rich one or a poor one. Exhale, inhale. But it was you. So you're no one's victim. Inhale. as you move forward into your next year, knowing that you're going to continue to make better choices. Less poor choices, more rich choices. And you will continue to grow and evolve and become finer, stronger, tighter, beautiful, sweeter, softer, more feminine, more tapped in, more awakened, brighter, glowing. As we go into our fire breaths, just to put a seal on it, taking a deep breath in and fire breaths. We're doing 100. Inhaling, raising hands up, and exhale. See sparkles of goodness, wisdom, love, oneness, self-love, power, self-worth sprinkling on you. Abundance, wealth, money, life, health sprinkling down on you, sparkling around you. Your aura is explosive with bright colors glowing on everyone's face who witnesses your greatness. As we go into our mantra known to raise a low high vibration, to change an unwanted situation to a desired one, say it with me, I am so grateful and excited. I am divinely connected to universal intelligence, love, and abundance. Anything I want to need overflows through me and to me with ease. When? Expeditiously. Say it with me. I am so grateful and excited. I divinely connected to universal intelligence, love, and abundance. Everything I want to need, it overflows. Where? Through me, because it comes from you first. Then where? To me with what? E. When? Expeditiously. Ashe. I am so grateful and excited. I am divinely connected to universal intelligence, love, and abundance. Everything I want to need overflows through me and to me with E. Because you're a god, a goddess, a king, a queen, an emperor, an empress. There's nothing you are not. Anything you want to need is obsessed with you. Ashe. Show up for it. Open the door. It's there for you. The blessings are here. Own it. Straighten up that posture and know who the hell you are. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. Hey, vibration. Yes. Ashe, can I get an ashe? Hey, we did it. Despite the interruptions, we did it. Yeah. Gigi. Hey, honey sugar. Yes, ashe. Catch me styling. Yes, Paris. Ashe. Yo, Stephanie 2026. Elevating. Ashe. Your fave. Yes. Blessed 2026 for all of us. Woo! Let me get some firecrackers in the comment section. Woo! Let me see what I got. Woo! Always grateful to catch you live. Yes, catch me styling. I'm always happy to see you all my familiar names, all my familiar people. Senorita, yes, I just want you to know that I greatly appreciate all you give to us, the FEMMAGIC tribe. Oh, thank you, Senorita, one of my regulars as well, of my family. Elevating. Paris, look at all the fireworks. Woo! Yes, this morning I was listening to Ritual, flowing with ease. Ashe. Guys, I finally have the masters to my new song. I'm supposed to be posting it. I wanted to post it before 2026, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So I do have the new song, so look out for that. All right, guys. Fem Cleanser and Kuchiwa are no longer $40. It was an executive decision my team and I made. No longer $40. They are $22 now. Same quality, same goodness, no harsh chemicals, no harmful chemicals, no toxins, no dioxins, none of that mess on your body. Just smell good goodness. I'm talking just cleansing goodness. And no, it does not really lather like that, right? This is a natural formula I created, made with glycerin soap, if you will. But it's all natural. We melt it, we pour it, we add the essential oils to it. That's what gives it the amazing smell. No about the quality change at all. It's just a different price for 2026. Woo! All right, because you all love this product. This is one of your top products that you all use, and it's an everyday product. You use it daily, so we just made it accessible for you. Yes, of course, of course. I appreciate you. You are very generous with your time and energy. Oh, thank you, your fave, Camille. Thank you for you always, my. Oh, thank you, Gigi. Any events happening for spring? Yes! FemFest 2026, celebrating 10 years of FEMMAGIC. If you are not already on the list, please get on the cruise list, all right? Text the word here. I want y'all to, please, you know what? It would be nice if all of you who are here right now on this live, because you guys have been with me for years on these lives, absolutely. I would love to spend time and share space with you all in person. So text Fest. I don't care if it's just us. Normally my cruise has about 100 people, but I don't care if it's just 20 of us. I don't care. I would love that. Intimate space with people who I'm familiar with. And some of you, I don't even know really what you look like because I have to base it off of your profile picture. But FemFest to 404. I had the pleasure of meeting Stephanie. I think it was last summer, this past summer, right? 595-6216. When you came to my in Prospect Park, and we got lost together. Oh my God, we got lost in Prospect Park. Oh my God. Text FemFest to 44595-6216. But we had a time, right, Stephanie? We love you, my aunt, sending abundant positivity. I love you too. I love y'all too. Woo woo. So you all please text FemFest to 404. Screenshot it, right? And text FemFest to 404-595-6216. So I would love to see Stephanie there at FemFest. Miss Muse, yep, another regular of the family. Gigi, of course, you better be there. If you're not there, it's Mia Yugo Ghetto. Kia, who else am I used to seeing? Paris, yep. Camille, Catch, yep. You all better be there. That's right. Hot Tresses, yep. Senorita, Normal, that's right. Elevating, absolutely. Senorita, your name. Who else? Who? The family. Vibration, you there? I'm looking for you. Queen Kima, I see you. Don't try to hide. Who else? Not Smooth Noye. Let's see. Else. Who? Trying to see. I'm trying to find the names normally see. I'm trying to see who else are my regulars. But y'all know who the heck you are. Y'all better be there. Text this number. Text FemFest to 404-595-6216. All right? And go get you your Fem Cleansers and your Kuchiwas at femmagic.com. All right, it is now only $22 as opposed to $40. But thank you for supporting it at $40 because y'all know it's handmade and it's worth it. Thank you. Manifesting the funds to attend. Listen, you got it. Yes, Morgan, I haven't seen her in a minute. Yes, Morgan better be there. Hey, Queer Kinky. I was more lost than you. I was sore for 3 days. I met you at 2 of your events. Oh, really, Paris? No, yeah, you came. Wait. Didn't you come to an Atlanta event? I think. Yes, FemFest 26. Let's go, girly. I'm excited. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I'll be sending out the information to that. All right. So just text the number. That way you at least get the information. Don't count yourself out yet. Don't start thinking about finances and all that. This, into receiving the information, this is going to be an amazing time. I'm in a different space than I was the other 2 times that I did this cruise, okay? I'm more evolved. I'm a lot more present, right? At the time, I wanted to just do my workshops and go to my room. Because it's a lot. Hosting 100 people, it's a lot, okay? California and, okay, Paris, all right, nationwide. That's dope. So yeah, I'm in a different space. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to some just sharing space and intimate time and growing and, working, evolving and getting to the other side while on absolutely coming off that ship a whole different woman. And it's possible, absolutely. And still having fun, going on excursions, partying, dancing, having a time still. Yes. We are getting called to stand up and represent the Fem Tribe. That's right, Senorita. I better see y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. Okay, go on. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy New Year. Woo woo! We did it all. Yay, we made it. Be safe, and I love y'all. Mwah.